Hello everyone and welcome to Luminar Coffee Break. I'm Angela Andrieux and today we're going to be talking about creating a black and white photo using color. Now that sounds a little bit strange, but our black and white tool has several sliders that allow you to adjust the luminance values of different areas of color. So we're going to walk through a workflow to show you how to make a really stunning black and white image by adjusting where the colors would be, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. I want to say I hope you guys all had a great Christmas, lovely holidays, and are gearing up and getting ready for the new year. I want to say hello to Pat, hello Russell. So glad you're able to join us today. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And you guys should see Luminar up on my screen, and I've got this gorgeous portrait. Let me show you the before version here. I'm going to go up to my visibility icon up here in the back up in the top right. And there's my original. You can see it's very colorful. There were these neon lights, but all of those lights actually allow us to create really beautiful, nuanced black and white and gray tones. And this is what I came up with. So let me go ahead and jump over to the Edit tab. For this edit, I'm going to completely skip the templates and show you how I do this from scratch. It's actually pretty quick and simple. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the bottom here and go to my original. And you'll see that I even cropped it a little bit. So let's go ahead and start with Essentials. And I'll start with Composition AI and go ahead and see what the AI recommends for my crop. I like that, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust that a little bit and bring that in a little tighter. I think that looks really nice right there. I'll go ahead and hit return on my keyboard. Hello, Catherine. Glad you're able to join us today. All right, now that we have our crop made, I'm going to use a little bit of our Enhance AI just to go ahead and brighten up some of those shadows. Structure AI is really cool because it'll bring out some of that background detail, make that a little bit edgier. Just a little bit there is nice. And now let's go ahead and go to the black and white tool and convert to the black and white. So initially, this has kind of a flat look to it. It doesn't have those beautiful tones that I had in my after image before. So what I want to show you is if you go ahead and click on the before image and take a look at the colors here, we have a lot of reds, pinks, magentas, purples, and even some yellow tones in there that correspond with these luminance sliders. So we can then take those luminance sliders and lighten or darken certain areas of the image. So you see if I bring up the reds, that's actually doing really nice things to her skin tones. We can adjust the yellows. You can see that's not doing a whole lot, but it is lightening some areas. Go through the greens. There's not much green in the image, so that really does nothing. Let's go ahead and try our blues. Again, no blues in the image, so that does really nothing. That was our cyan, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and actually the blues here, you see we've got some of that coming in from the purple. And I'm going to lighten that up just a touch. And then we definitely have quite a bit of magenta. And this is where this gets really powerful. We can go ahead and lighten that up. And that's starting to look really gorgeous. I want to say hello to Saul. Glad you're able to join us from Tacoma, Washington. And let's see here. What would we like to do next? I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our portrait tools and just refine a little bit about her skin tones. I'll start with Face AI and bring up a little bit of face light to even out that light on her face and on her skin. She doesn't need any slimming done to her face. I think she looks gorgeous as she is. We can go ahead and touch up the eyes. I'll bring up that eye enhancer quite a bit and maybe even add a little bit of iris flare. That just makes her eyes kind of come alive and jump off the page, and I think that's really gorgeous. And then I'm going to go to the mouth, and you'll see right now her lips don't have a whole lot of definition, but if we do the lips darkening, that'll go ahead and add a little bit more definition to her lips, to her face. We can even add the lip saturation, and that'll darken it down a little bit more, just giving her facial features a little bit more definition. We can also go down to our Skin AI. She doesn't have much in the way of skin defects, but we can go ahead and turn that on. There is a little bit of shine on her face, so we can go ahead and pull that up, and that'll even out the skin tone, and maybe even use a little bit of our Skin AI amount just to smooth out those details, and I think that's looking really, really gorgeous. The last thing I might want to do here is go back to our Essentials and add a nice subtle vignette. I like to take that amount slider all the way down to -100. The size I think looks pretty good. We'll jump into our advanced settings. I'll bring that feather up for a nice smooth transition. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of inner light. I think that looks pretty good there. And then I'll grab that amount slider and then just pull that back up to the point that it looks nice. And you want it to bring your eyes, your viewer's eyes, into your subject, but you don't want people to look at your image and go, wow, that's a pretty nice vignette. If people can tell that you added a vignette, you probably went too far. So you want it to just be a subtle, slight darkening of the edges to guide your viewer to your subject. So I think that looks really nice. If you feel like any of those tones need to be refined further than this, a great place to go is over into the Pro tab, into Super Contrast. And here you can manipulate your shadows, your highlights, and midtones independently. So let's go ahead and we can add a little bit more shadow or a little bit highlights contrast, and we can adjust that balance. There we go. That brings back a little bit of that detail that in our face that we lightened up and maybe went a little bit too far and started almost clipping some of that detail. So that brings that back. You can work with your midtones, and you'll see that that's adjusting those midtones areas. I don't think it needs a whole lot there. And then our shadows, we can go ahead and bring that up. You'll see that's bringing back some of that detail in the shadows and adjust that shadows balance. I think right about there looks great. So hopefully you guys like that edit and you see what you can do with a color image when you convert it to black and white, and how you can control those color areas with the black and white tool. So again, let me go back here to my before. And you see it's so vibrant, so beautiful. And we were able to take it and make it a stunning and amazing black and white. And just to kind of recap here for you, that was here in the black and white tool. And we just simply adjusted these luminance sliders. Now, if you click over here into the saturation tab, that will start bringing back actual color. So if we wanted to bring back a selective color, we could add back in a bit of that magenta. And I think that looks awful. I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to show you that that's what those saturation sliders do there. Otherwise, if you're just wanting to make a really dynamic black and white, make sure you check out these luminance sliders. They're amazing and a lot of fun. Let me take a quick look here at the comments and see if there's any questions. Hello, Michael. Hello, Louise. Glad you guys are all able to join us today. If you have any questions, make sure you pop those into the comments. And if you're enjoying this series, if you like the Luminar Coffee Breaks, make sure you give us a thumbs up here on YouTube. We want to be able to keep doing this for you, and we need to let our higher ups know that you guys want us here. So I hope that was a great episode for you. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a little something. Vanelli and I will be back with you tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific, and we'll do our weekly recap and go over the images that we edited this week. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and wish you guys a wonderful afternoon. Hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.